Warning, we are not trained or licensed professionals. Do not take any advice that we give as official doctoral prescribed medical treatment. We only use the name as a means to appreciate cinema as a therapeutic device, not to be confused with drugs, antidepressants, or any other forms of enhancements that you might find in legal states. Please enjoy responsibly.
Additional disclaimer. If the film says we can say it too. So check the film rating, and that will be our episode rating.
Hello, welcome to Film Therapy. I am the Quizatch Hatterack, and I am joined by the Lord of all cats, especially Clovis, my co-hosts, Madison. Oh, also Zeus, Clovis and Zeus.
Yay, Zeus!
And this week, we're also joined by the man who voluntarily sits in the way back, one of my closest, dearest friends, Tuan Lee Jr.
Woo!
And this is the part where I'm like, is this where I'm like,
then
I'm
you
here
walk
now?
in,
Or is that
and
like,
we all clap.
I'm walking from the way, so I've just been in the way back this entire time, right?
Yes, you have.
Yeah, because we're in the front. We're driving.
Yeah. Or actually, we'll come in the back and sit by you, like this movie.
You know what? Yeah, you come back here. There's plenty of room.
Excellent. Yes, Tu is here with us today.
How'd you guys meet? How'd we all meet? We met at film school. Spoiler.
All right, well, yeah, spoiler.
Yeah, boring story.
It's actually kind of an interesting story.
Is it?
How did you two meet, first of all? Did you meet through me?
I probably.
We've just had
a
a bunch of classes together and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we just, just having the same major, we're in a bunch of classes together. But, like, there isn't a lot of, like, cross-collaboration in those classes.
Yeah.
So not a lot of interaction, I don't think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I first met him when the friend of mine that he was rooming with at the time, I was working on a film production of his, and then I met Tuan there because they just lived together, and Tuan just walked in because, he came home. We got along great, but then we never really, like, talked for, like, a year. And then I had one of my productions, and I was, like, really struggling with it, and I couldn't... Damn, I hit the bottle. Yeah, I got beer. What's this? Soothing face mist. Yeah, that stuff will get you good and drunk. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so... I don't know why I'm laughing. It's stupid. Anyway. Anyway, so, and then, like, a year later, I was working on a film project of my own, and I was really struggling to find people. And Tu reached out and said, hey, do you want some help, and do you want me to edit? And I'm like, hell yeah. And then we've been almost inseparable ever since. And then we both went home for, because 2020 happened. And yeah. Would you say that's accurate?
Is that a year? Holy crap. Was that like a year ago like almost to the day, right? Was that like literally a year ago?
Almost to the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. And Tuan, you're still in Colorado, right?
Yeah, I'm still in Colorado.
Okay. But you guys have exciting news for a couple minutes or a couple months from now. You guys are going to be moving in together back in Denver.
Yeah.
In a couple minutes.
Yeah, we're reuniting. It's awesome.
It's the best.
In a couple minutes, we're reuniting.
Yeah, in a couple minutes. We're on the way.
In a couple minutes. We're on the way right now. Jake is on the airplane.
I am. I'm recording from the plane here,
He's recording
you guys.
this from the airplane. He's annoying everybody that's sitting next to him currently.
Do any passengers mind? Can I get a hot towel while I'm waiting?
There's a child kicking his seat right now.
Just being as obnoxious as possible. Just being like, yeah, I can I get some champagne and maybe
we don't
a hot
care
towel?
about the beer, the bottle that you just hit. The kid is kicking your seat. Like,
hey kid, quit kicking my seat. So if you hear any background noise, that's other people on the plane telling me to shut up or the wind outside.
Just assume that for the rest of this.
Yeah, just for the rest of this.
Hopefully it's not the engines falling off of the plane.
Yeah, hopefully you don't crash.
You know how to fly, don't you? No. Do you? How hard can it be?
Like, I'm just thinking, like, how horrible would it be, like, if you were recording this on a plane and then, like, just the tragedy struck in the middle of this episode? Like, this would be like a historic document, probably.
Whoa.
Well, it would be. I'm thinking of so many things now. I'm thinking of that movie when I went in and did the audio of dying on a plane. I'm thinking of the opening of Wild Tales, and I'm thinking of Temple of Doom.
Yep.
Well, why Temple of Doom? Sorry.
Because they're on the plane, and then they go in the river raft.
The plane?
Yeah, they're on the plane.
I barely remember that movie, to be honest.
I love Temple of Doom.
I don't like it, but whatever. Just putting that out there, Jake. I gotta disagree with you on everything. Every point you bring up, I'm gonna bring up a counterpoint.
Okay. We'll disagree with this. The Way, Way Back is a great movie.
Nah, it's a perfect movie.
Okay, there you go. I didn't think you'd disagree with that, but you did.
No, there you go. I did.
See? You proved me wrong.
Keeping you on your toes.
Ah, God damn it.
Yeah, so Tuan recommended this movie. He wanted to watch it.
This is going to be my life now.
It means a lot to him.
Once I get off this plane, this is going to be my life. When I get off
Madison was explaining my
Sorry,
story,
Matt.
Jake. If you could just let her keep going. Please.
Well, I was saying, once I get off the plane, this is what my life's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. You're stuck with me. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, if I'm going to be stuck with anybody,
Yeah.
I'd rather be one of you, so.
So, Tuan, when did you first see this movie?
I was 14, so yeah, like this movie really just came around at the right time. Yeah. Yeah, I saw it around the time it came out. This is a weird connection to it, like the path of me finding this movie. So have any of you guys seen a show called Psych?
Yes, you've shown me episodes.
Yeah, I've shown you episodes of it, Madison.
Jake, have you seen Psych? Yes, I have.
I haven't seen any of it.
I showed you the Twin Peaks episode.
Oh, there's a Twin Peaks episode?
Yeah, so
it's amazing.
There's a Twin Peaks episode. That's the only episode I've shown Jake.
Funny. It was so funny.
It is really funny. Yeah, it's a detective comedy show on USA.
And Shirley is in the Twin Peaks episode.
Yeah, everybody. I'm surprised to see that Twin Peaks episode had like big actors in it, because I always assumed that like it was like a cheap TV episode, and I thought, oh, like it probably got like background characters on Twin Peaks.
Wow.
Like they got Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm watching the episode, I'm just like, holy shit, like there's a bunch of people in this that are like actually like big into Twin Peaks.
Wait, did we watch that because we watched Fire Walk with Me, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah,
you got to see
so.
the Psych episode?
Yeah, I was like, you gotta see the Psych episode, and I didn't even know like the first line has like 3 references in the first line of dialogue. I'm just like, oh, this is for like
dang.
Twin Peaks fan. But anyway,
it was also real quick. It was also like when we watched Mystery Incorporated and Scooby walks into the Red Room, and I was like, holy shit, it's the Headman.
What?
It's the same voice actor.
Show has an extended part of its story that it's like
and
directly
Dune
connected to Twin Peaks.
My God.
And Dune.
A bunch of 80s stuff. It's very weird. Anyways, this Psych has a thing at the beginning of every episode that has like a flashback to the main character's childhood, and it'll like connect to the episode somehow.
Okay.
And the actor that played the young version of the main character is the main actor in this movie, The Way, Way Back. And so I think it was like I was like on IMDb perusing sometime in like 2013, the glory days of the internet, I guess. Was going down the rabbit hole and like found his IMDb and saw that this was like the most recent movie, and just like clicked on it and watched the trailer, and immediately was like, oh, I really want to see this. And I think maybe several months after it came out, like when it was around Blu-ray or whatever, I watched it illegally online. Sorry. On like Putlocker or something. And it just really resonated with me because like the character is 14. I was 14 at the time. And I feel like this movie, I just really identify with that main character a lot, you know, because he's like this shy, awkward kid. I still am this like shy, awkward kid.
Same.
So immediately, just felt like this movie spoke to me in many ways, despite the fact that like, you know, I nothing in the movie as far as like his personal life is like the same as mine in any way, but just the feeling and the emotion of it all.
Okay.
Really hit. So yeah, I've watched it several times and illegally on that site before I like finally suckered down and bought the Blu-ray and was like a good like didn't steal it. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen it. If anytime I'm feeling down, you know, that's like a movie I immediately go to. It's like a feel good movie for me, despite the fact that there's like a lot of scenes in it that are like could get really anxious, like get you really anxious or kind of feeling a little cringe. You're just like, ooh. And I was even rewatching it last night and being like, oh, it's this scene. Oh, okay. And to just like just get through the uncomfortable feeling and just get through it. And oh my God. But I don't know. It's weird that there's like scenes like that in the movie, despite like the fact that I still love it that much. But yeah, there's a lot of scenes like that where it's like, it's a little uncomfortable for a bit. Yeah, I don't know. That's my story.
That's great.
That's beautiful.
I will do a quick recap of this movie, and then we can discuss it a little more. The Way Way Back was released in 2013, directed by Jim Rash and Nat Faxon, starring Liam James, Sam Rockwell, Steve Carell, Toni Collette, Allison Janney, and Anna Sophia Robb. Shy 14-year-old Duncan goes on summer vacation with his mother, her overbearing boyfriend, and her boyfriend's daughter. Having a rough time fitting in, Duncan finds an unexpected friend in Owen, the manager of the Water Whiz water park. So, Jake, when did you first see this movie?
I first saw it because our esteemed guest here, we were talking about movies that had a deep impact on us. Because we were watching the Before trilogy every night. We split it up every 9 days. So sunrise, and then 9 days later sunset, 9 days later midnight. And after Before Midnight, we're like, hey, let's both show each other like one of our most personal movies. So Tu showed me The Way Way Back, and I showed him Garden State.
That's very intimate.
And yeah, it was a very intimate night.
Ago.
Oh God, no!
Right when you were about to leave.
No,
that's what's so weird about this is that this was literally a year ago. That weekend you were leaving, so that's why I was like, hey, let's like hang out for like the rest of the weekend until because it was like so sudden that
and we did. COVID we hung out. Yeah. We hung out the whole weekend. We were trying because we had an earlier night where we just watched a bunch of movies and it was glorious, and then we tried to recapture that. And for the first half of the night, we did, and then we watched some stuff that just put us to sleep. Mm-hmm. But watching those 3 movies in a row, especially Way Way Back and Garden State, was such a great, because they're both Fox Searchlight. Also, I think it was a great double feature, and just because seeing this movie, I really connected to it a lot. Also, not as much as Tu does, obviously. But I still felt a lot of like in this instance, this is how I would be, and in this scene, this is how I would be, and this is like how I react to certain things. It's kind of like, I don't know why I'm connecting to this, but there's some moments when Duncan is like you see how his face, like how he has like a more of a blank slate, but he's keeping his true emotions in, of how he just doesn't want to be around certain people. And it reminds me a little bit of Anna in When Marnie Was There, because she kind of does the same thing throughout a lot of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. He's just constantly just uncomfortable. Like he doesn't like being in his own skin.
Yeah.
You kind of see that even in scenes where he's like not doing anything, and like just the concept of being just around people is difficult,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't relate to this movie. Well, actually, I guess I first saw this movie pretty much right when it came out, and I was older than you guys at the time. I had just graduated high school, but I still really enjoyed this movie. I think I watched it with my mom, and she really likes it too, so she'll probably listen to this episode. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Actually, my mom's not going to listen because she hasn't seen the movie, so she probably won't listen.
Oh, yeah.
I should have said hi, Mom, during Twilight. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You should make her watch this movie.
I should. I think she'd look. I still have it rented on Amazon. She could probably watch it.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh, actually, I should do that with my mom, too, because she can watch it again. Anyway. I'd
watch it again.
Yeah, it was good.
Just a communal watch party, and then we all bring our mothers.
With
like,
moms.
Hey.
Mom day.
Mom's club.
Mom's club. Anyway.
And I don't really like relate to this movie a ton because I'm really fortunate in that I have like my parents are still together and not divorced, and I hadn't ever gone through anything like that, but it's still good to watch it where he finds himself and he finds his voice and the confidence and everything that he needs, and it's just a sweet story, I think. And it's good because it takes you on like a little vacation too. You go along with him. You don't know where he's from normally, but then they just go on this summer vacation you want to go to, especially now that the weather's getting warmer. I'm like, oh man, I want to go to the beach and just have a long vacation. Yeah.
Never have I wanted to like go to a gross water park ever, but this movie, I just want to escape into it, Yeah. It's not so much the beach and the rich people on the beach houses, but it's like, oh, like the water park. It's like a magical place somehow.
Yes.
Mainly because Sam Rockwell is there.
Yes.
I was just gonna say that's.
He's great in this movie.
Mm-hmm. He's like the best part about it, I think.
Definitely, his character's awesome, and it's usually he plays like kind of asshole characters, but this one was obviously not.
Nah, I just want a Sam Rockwell mentor in my life, you know?
Right?
I do too.
Like to just guide me. I was thinking like, dang, when I was 14, I would have loved to have had like a Sam Rockwell type come into my life and give me the confidence I needed and all that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
be my best friend.
He's so cool.
I just want to be Sam Rockwell in this movie like all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I could be as cool as Sam Rockwell in this movie.
But it was hard for me to watch Steve Carell be such a jerk because I love him. Mm-hmm. And he usually never plays jerks.
Well, Michael Scott's kind of
very against type for him.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Michael Scott is kind of a jerk, he's kind of like, I wouldn't say Michael Scott's like an out and out jerk, but like,
yeah, he's like an oblivious
very insensitive
jerk.
character half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now this dude's just a straight up jerk. Like,
yeah,
screw you, Trent.
The worst. Do you think that they ended up breaking up when they got back home?
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good bet, right? Like, sure. I feel like the whole symbolic thing of the ending is also like, her mom, like his mom, like meeting him halfway there.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was so sweet.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful, like, visual conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good opening closing shot where they have, the opening of Steve Carell's eyes in that's the first shot, right? His eyes in the rearview mirror, and then
yeah, it's like we hear the dialogue first, and then like that it's his eyes in the rear view mirror. Yeah,
and it's just him and Duncan, and then the last shot is Duncan and his mom in the way back, and that's just so cute and fulfilling.
Right, very emotionally satisfying. I like how the movie's kind of bookended like that. It's very contained in this summer town. We don't really see a lot of their lives outside of it at all.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite opening scenes in anything, I think, because it's just like, wow. Like, it just gut punches you immediately. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's like that line, and then he just puts in his music, and the title comes up, and I'm just like, I'm in for an emotional ride already.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Is that so? You said that kid was in that psych episode?
No, he was a recurring role every week because he was the protagonist's like younger self in the little prologues at the beginning. So like every episode would be like 1986, and it'd be some sort of like short little cute scene, and then it cuts to present day or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like the first half of the show, he played that role because he grew up and they had to recast him. Yeah. True. Fun fact: Skylar Gisondo was like the second actor to play that little Sean, and now he's been in like Booksmart and The Righteous Gemstones recently. So he's doing pretty good too. Just
because I was wondering what else the Duncan character is in. What's his name?
Liam James. I don't think he's literally been in that much stuff.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Now, what happened to that kid?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
Because he could have been like a Logan Lerman type, or something like that. But the last time I saw his name in any trades or anything was like when the Spider-Man was being cast. Like, God, was that 6 years ago when that happened? Oh,
when they were looking for somebody to play Spider-Man in the MCU. There was like every actor on the planet was auditioning for that. So like that was the last time I saw his name in any of the, like Hollywood Reporter or whatever, and just like a list of white boy names. Along with Logan Lerman in that list.
It's funny now because like when you realize like Tom Holland is like, so young, and then you look like Logan Lerman, and it's like, dude, you're like much older.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, the last person to play Spider-Man would have been Andrew Garfield, and he was like much older. So
Logan Lerman auditioned twice. He auditioned when Andrew Garfield was those movies were being made.
2012. So then he got to be in Perks of Being a Wallflower instead, which is a much better movie in my opinion.
Yeah. So. Now he lost the role twice. Just putting that out there, Percy. You ain't perfect.
But he got to play Percy twice, but not 5 times, just twice.
There you go. First time he was too young. The second time he was too old. So
yeah.
Aww.
Oh, about the way we're back. One thing I was gonna say was I'm just gonna praise the hell out of Fox Searchlight because they don't exist anymore, and they were probably like one of the best subsidiaries ever.
It's not
the same, okay?
It's not
the
Fox
same
anymore. Yeah, just Searchlight.
It's not the.
But as an organization or organization, whatever, they're still around. Like they're still putting stuff out, right? Like
I don't know.
They just put out Jojo Rabbit. Nobody put out any movies last year, but
yeah.
Jojo Rabbit's so good.
It
Maddie,
is.
have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yeah, we should do an episode on that.
yeah, that was another one I was thinking of. I had like 7 movies I wanted to do for this.
Well, if you want to do it, I mean, you're welcome to come back.
Yeah, we should do Taika Waititi in general soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do a retrospective of this whole. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah.
Sure, we prescribe 7 movies for people to watch in 1 week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'd be
just
great.
do a marathon.
Yeah,
you want to laugh your butt off, but then also just be super sad.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Like Thor Ragnarok and then Jojo Rabbit double feature. Like, anyway, one thing I was gonna say was, like a lot of Fox Searchlight movies, the soundtrack to this is really great. It's got that nice, like, I don't know what you would call it other than like that indie vibe. But it's got like that nice, like, mellow kind of like reflective, thoughtful, melancholic, so in some ways, soundtrack, and I really love soundtracks like that because that's the kind of music I usually listen to. Is like how this soundtrack or the Garden State soundtrack or the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, but that's different. That's more like 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, just movie soundtracks like this are ones that I really dig.
I love the part where he first bikes up to the Water Whiz water park, and right as he sees it, the song goes, "Is this coincidence or connection?" And it's like perfect because he had already seen Sam Rockwell. What's his name? Owen. He had already seen him at the at the game or the little restaurant and the very beginning, and so he just found his way back to Owen and his safe haven. Okay, so this was directed by Jim Rash and Nat Faxon, and they play Lewis and Rod in the movie, the 2 guys at the water park. And
I love Lewis.
Lewis is great.
I'm still here.
And Jim Rash is just great,
He, what else? He's in what else is he in?
He's the dean in Community, right?
Yeah, Jim Rash is in one of the best TV shows ever.
Oh, and he's in
the
Sky
dean
High.
In Community, yeah.
Wait, who's in Sky High?
Jim Rash.
Jim Rash, yeah, he's the henchman. He's the guy. He's like all made up. He's like the
Royal Pains henchman.
Royal
Pains henchman in Sky High is Jim Rash.
That's Jim Rash? Are you kidding me?
Yes, that's Jim Rash. Yeah, Salt of the Earth.
Yes. That's great.
I don't think I've ever seen Nat Faxon in anything else though.
Yeah, I was trying. He looks like some guy, and I guess he just looks like this other guy that I was thinking of. But because I thought I had seen him in other
He's just things. He's just that guy,
He's that guy. He looks kind of like a British Andy in The Office. What's his name?
Wait, which office? The British office or the U.S. office?
Yeah.
Which office?
Okay, yeah, that was confusing.
Andy. Oh, Ed Helms.
Ed Helms. He looks like a British Ed Helms.
Wait,
I'm trying to remember.
Ed Helms is in.
It's weird. He does look British, even though he's not at all. He's got a British. He definitely has a British face,
right?
If that makes any sense. Yeah, right. No, I completely see that.
So I was wondering if you guys had ever worked on a movie with anyone at film school that had 2 directors.
No.
Maybe.
I
have to think. Hang on.
It wasn't very popular in film school.
Because I was on.
I don't recall at all any. Like I knew a bunch of people that collaborate on scripts and stuff, but never directing. I don't think.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I'm just wondering what that would be like, especially if both directors are in the film too. Like that, I feel like there would be a lot of discrepancy, but maybe they have the same mind pretty much, and you have to be on the exact same page if you're doing that, I think. I was on a set once that had the director was in the film, and so they had this other guy come in and kind of do other direction. He just did really character work with people.
Because when I'm thinking of actors and directors, of course, the first thing that pops into my head is Danny DeVito directing Matilda. So I'm in scenes he was in, was somebody else directing him as the father, or was Danny DeVito just nah, man, I got this?
Yeah, and who directed him as the narrator?
Yeah, and as the narrator too.
Yeah, in the ADR booth. Is he directing himself in the booth?
He meant to say when a child is bad. Instead, he said when a person is bad.
I remember they had this thing about Jojo Rabbit, you know, because Taika Waititi plays Hitler, and then he's also directing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when he's directing,
Yep.
he was like dressed as Hitler.
Yeah, so like it's not an order.
Yeah.
You know, just take it as a suggestion. You know, he'd be saying, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be so weird.
Or like in Ragnarok when he's shit, what's his name? Korg.
He's
yeah.
Korg. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in the man canceling suit. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. He's just in the suit the whole time while he's like directing.
Got a tennis ball in his head and like trying to give direction. Yeah.
Do you guys know anyone like the Betty character in this movie? The Allison Janney character?
I definitely known people like that. I think this whole movie, like every character, I feel like, oh, I know a person like that.
They're so relatable.
And I know a person like that. Yeah.
Gosh.
Like even like I've even met I think we've all known like a Trent in our lives too at some point.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, but I just found Betty so...
She just bursts onto the scene.
Yeah, she's so entertaining.
Yes, immediately she shows up and you're like, she's here.
She's here. It's Betty.
what an introduction, you know?
What an introduction.
And the lines of dialogue she has in that scene, my God, the
Yes.
lines of dialogue she has in that scene, in that opening scene, like just the things she says, and everybody just, the reaction is our reaction watching her.
Poor Pam, she's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, right. She's just out of her element immediately.
Yeah. She just cooks the entire movie. That's all she does. I feel so bad for her. She's always like, breakfast, dinner, lunch.
She cooks and gets cheated on.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yay.
Poor Pam.
Side note, that was also funny after having seen The Office. Because when I first saw this movie, I hadn't watched any of The Office. And then having actually watched The Office and then getting to the end, and then when Duncan runs out to Waterwiz to say goodbye for the last time, and then Pam runs after him, and it's just Steve Carell yelling, Pam! Pam!
Yes!
It was just so funny after having seen The Office. I'm just like...
I was thinking that too.
Yes. With British Ed Helms.
Yeah, with British Ed Helms. And Justin Hammer.
Justin Hammer. It's not my bird. What do you want? Do you want a different bird? That's not your bird? Sorry, whenever I say Justin Hammer, that's the part I think.
You think of that.
is
I
the
want my
bird.
bird. Yeah.
Yes. What's wrong with this bird? It's not my bird.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, Iron Man 2.
And then I think of Scarlett Johansson having one of the greatest scenes in cinema history when she knocks all those bad guys out, and then Jon Favreau's just like, I got him.
And then like there's a whole row of guys taken out. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best moments in cinema. Truly changed my life.
That's okay. I was saying more about. I would say Sam Rockwell is the best part of that movie. Like he is in pretty much every movie. I would say is the best part of that movie. Sam Rockwell is also in Jojo Rabbit. I connected it all. There we go. There's the thread.
Sam Rockwell broke my heart in Jojo Rabbit. He's the.
I know.
Oh God. Okay, so Jojo Rabbit has Sam Rockwell, Taika, and Thomas and Mackenzie. So we that's a great, like, I mean, it's got more people, and Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, and there's
who's also in Iron Man 2. Who's also in Iron Man 2.
There we go.
Oh,
There we
my
go.
God.
Boom.
It's all connected. Now we just got to find a way to connect Toni Collette to this, to all of this.
Little Miss Sunshine.
Okay.
She was in Little Miss
And
Sunshine.
Steve Carell was in that too.
Yep.
Life finds a way. Shoot that can off the ship there, General.
And Jeff Goldblum is in Thor Ragnarok. There we go.
There we go.
We're back.
We're back.
That's my that's my go-to when I run out of words and I say like 5 times. I just quote Jeff Goldblum.
There you go.
And it's gotten old, but
Chaos Theory.
see, no one would have predicted Dr. Grant jumping out of a moving car. My favorite Jeff Goldblum thing though ever, too, and you remember this, is when you first got to Plus, we were watching the World According to Jeff Goldblum, and he sees the picture of his younger self, and he's like, yeah, that's me when I was 5 years old. And then your response was like it looks like someone just showed him that picture, and that was his natural reaction. And I'm like, yeah.
No, I think in the booth they didn't give him a script, and like I just imagine him in the ADR booth or whatever, like looking at, like, they already edited the graphics for it, and it's literally just him doing it live, just like, yes, that's
what
me.
He said.
That's me as a little boy. Whatever. Then,
yeah,
just him talking over this B-roll, but it's like he's not reading anything. Like they're just like, Jeff Goldblum, you do what you want, man. Like
you're Jeff Goldblum.
That's that whole show. It's just like, Jeff Goldblum, we just want content on Disney Plus. Can you
Yeah.
Just do a show where it's you being you.
It's great.
And I don't know why I haven't watched that whole thing. I've watched probably like 4 episodes.
I've only watched, about that, I would say.
I watched more Mandalorian than Jeff Goldblum, and I feel really... And
I feel so bad about
make
it.
Me feel good.
Yeah, literally, that's me too. I feel so bad about that.
But you've watched more Mandalorian, so go ahead and feel worse.
I feel way worse.
I didn't even finish season 1. You watched all of it.
I watched all of it, and did it give me anything? No, it didn't.
You feel it. You feel it. Oh, okay. If we had Walton on here, you two would be going back and forth on that, because Walton would be like, "You didn't feel that," and I'm like,
"Feel what?"
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
Just the emotions. Wilton's my cousin. We had him on when we did the Shawshank episode.
He loves Star Wars.
Yes, he loves Star Wars like I used to. If that puts it in perspective.
Right. I don't think I was ever like a huge fan to the point where like it was like an identity crisis when the last one wasn't so good. But
Thank you for putting a year of my life into 2 words. That makes me feel like a less complete human being.
A year of your life.
Anyway, a year of my life of being in denial about that movie. Yes.
I haven't listened to every episode, full disclosure, but how many times has he brought up his Rise of Skywalker design?
Oh no,
pretty much
on
every
show,
episode.
Is that
Fuck
every episode?
you.
Is he just like?
Let me rephrase that. Tuan, you are one of my best friends. You're really awesome.
Yeah.
And I could say a lot of wonderful things about you.
Of course you can.
It's just to take the shit out of Jake Day. I'm sick of it.
Okay, we're done.
No, because I think I've been talking in circles with you for like a year. Like I feel like this was like a thing that you brought up pretty much every time we talk. You bring it up. I think.
I'm sorry.
Identity crisis with Star Wars. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was all set to drop it until you said identity crisis, and I'm like, how dare you put a whole year of my life into 2 words? Because literally 2020 was an identity crisis, not just Star Wars, but everything. But Star Wars was like the center of it. It started 2020 off because it was December.
It started.
Let's move on. It did though. It did.
Literally, Star Wars was the beginning of COVID. Are you blaming COVID on J.J. Abrams?
No, I don't.
I would go that far, even though I'm not. I didn't have identity crisis.
It's ironic that I had an identity crisis, and I don't go that far. But you, the casual fan who didn't, would go that far. I just find that fascinating. All right, here's hoping Dominion's a better finale because Colin Trevorrow actually wrote a pretty good finale, and then. I still haven't read Duel of the Fates, but I'm just automatically assume it's better from everything I've heard and from what I know the plot is. But no, Maddie, do I really bring it up every time? Like, why haven't you told me this? We're on episode 32.
I don't care.
Okay,
this is film therapy, and if it really tugs at your soul, then you just need to let it out. So that's fine.
Just need to let it out, Yeah,
well,
I get it.
Well, okay, you know what? We'll just do an episode on it, and I'll just go through my identity crisis all over again.
But I thought you were supposed to do movies that were good on this podcast. Or
We are.
Okay.
We are. We only do good movies, like Sleepwalkers, Supergirl, and Twilight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, and I don't know if you know, we just did an episode on Nausicaa, but my voice memos crashed, and I lost the file. And I don't know how to get it back. But the episode was basically Maddie talking about how much you see of Nausicaa in the movie, and then she's like, "Oh, that's too much," and I'm like, "Maddie, this is anime. You ain't seen nothing." So that was like the whole discussion.
How much of this for the past 10 minutes has been usable, Maddie? Just wondering.
Oh.
I think Maddie's gone, so none of it. I'll answer for her. None of it.
None of it. I was gonna say we've been going on this for a bit. Has any of it been usable?
But this happens, man. This happens when it's just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
So Maddie, would you say it does, or?
Yeah.
Because
sometimes we go on some crazy tangents.
All this podcast is just us talking, and then we just take the best bits and call it an episode. Like that's what it is. Would you say that's accurate, Maddie?
Yep.
I can't hear her. She's gone again. Oh, there's the noon whistle.
Yep.
Hold for that.
Noon whistle.
Whoa.
Yeah, noon whistle. Neither of you know what the hell that is. That blows my mind. It must be a Wisconsin thing.
I still what? I'm so confused.
So the noon whistle goes off every day at noon for no reason. Because it's lunchtime. I don't know. it's a Wisconsin thing.
For no reason?
Wait. So Wisconsin, all Wisconsin.
Well, back in the heyday, it used to be so like farmers and people that worked outside would know to come home for noon because it's lunch. But now that we all have watches and cell phones and not as many people work outside, it doesn't make any sense. Also, it doesn't go beyond the town limits. So, I don't know. I guess it's just tradition. I think it's a tri-state thing.
They still do it though. Like there's still like a big whistle that tells everybody to go eat lunch.
Yeah. It's a big whistle just to say it's noon. If you want to eat lunch, go ahead. Or if you want to sit in the booth and record for 3 more hours.
No. You have to eat lunch during the noon whistle. That's the kicker, isn't it? Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsonian. Is there? What's the term?
Wisconsonian.
Wisconsonians. Wisconsonians. I'm gonna
all right.
get it.
All right. Yeah. You get it. That's your arc.
I'm just trying to say it naturally so it doesn't sound weird.
It's your arc for the episode.
Is that my arc? By the end of this episode, I'll be able to say Wisconsonians without
that's your arc.
without stumbling over it.
Dude, literally, we did North by Northwest and then E.T., and I had an arc between those 2 episodes because I just had a really crappy week, and literally for all of North by Northwest, I just sound like dejected the entire time, and then in E.T. for the first half, I'm still in my like, oh yeah, I'm here phase, and then I perk back up and we talk about how E.T. made us both cry like little babies.
Well,
nice. I did. I don't know about Maddie.
Nice to have a little character journey throughout that.
What film therapy's about, yo?
Yeah, put that on the poster.
What I should have done is just said nothing, and then you could have just listened to the 2 episodes and been like, "Oh, there it is." But
I could have realized it myself. I'm smart enough to
you'll probably forget by the time you get there, since you're only on Supergirl right now.
Yeah, I'm only on Supergirl.
Which we gotta watch that sometime. It's a great movie.
You were saying that like North by Northwest, and I was just like, "Dang, I should really listen to this podcast."
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then we do E.T. and then Twilight and then Nausicaa. And
these are all movies I love, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, get on it.
Tuan, what if one time I sat you down and said we're gonna watch all the Twilight movies? How would you feel about that? In all honesty.
How much alcohol do we have, and do we get to do a drinking game throughout as we keep going?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we'd have to do. Is it 4 or 5? Is there 5 movies or
5? Because the last one's 2 parts.
Oh, that's right. Okay, it's 4. It's 4, and then it's like 5. The last one's 2 parts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a marathon I'd be down to do. I think I've only seen the first.
You heard it here. you have seen the first one? Hell yeah.
I feel like I've only seen not even all of the first one, just a little bit. Of the first one. So I don't even have it logged on my Letterboxd.
Oh man.
Or anything. Yeah.
You're in for it.
Yeah. Well.
No, I was one of those impressionable boys that was like, "Ew, Twilight's for girls," so I don't think I've watched any of it at all.
I was on the opposite end where I'm like, man, Twilight's cool. I want to watch it because all the girls are interested in it, and
then you can talk to girls about Twilight, and then except nobody should watch these movies.
Yeah,
even they're horrible.
When you're 14,
read the books instead. Maybe ? Question mark.
Yeah,
is that also a good recommendation. If you actually read.
I read.
I try.
Yeah, I'm a garbage person. I don't read. Yeah, I pick up a book and just pretend to read all the time.
Yeah, I just pretend.
I've only read one series over the past 2 years, so I don't know how much better I am.
And it has pictures, right? And they just technically.
And it has pictures, but it is a book. It's not a graphic novel.
Right.
It has pictures. So there's also words.
Yeah, right. There's words, but it's mostly illustration, though, right?
No.
No, okay.
That's a manga or a graphic novel. Anyway, none of that's usable. Maybe some of it is.
I feel like some of that was usable.
For sure.
I think the Twilight thing. I think the Twilight thing was very usable. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a discovery for both of us.
But first thing we got to do is get ready for F9, because that comes out right around the time we move in. So if you're still down, that should be the first thing we marathon.
There's a lot of marathons. Jake has like a list on his phone of marathons.
Oh my goodness!
I do. Shall I read it quick?
Literally,
you want to hear it?
He's
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. Divulge all of our friendship for everybody to hear. I want the movies that we love and the marathons that we are going to do, sober or not.
Yes, here we go. Are you ready? So, Maddie, you're going to love this one. I'm going to show him our favorite trilogy, the Lucy trilogy. The Flying Cheetah trilogy, as some call it. So I put watch Lucy trilogy and then get drunk and watch the Fred trilogy all in the same day.
I like how you didn't just put a list of movies with like bullet points. You did what we were going to do.
He's planned
I
out
did.
the
You
entire.
did.
And then
He's planned out the entire day. It's gonna be 6 movies.
yes, 6 movies. But
3
you
of
know
them
what?
are Fred movies.
And 3 of them are Lucy movies.
Oh my God, Fred.
What a day.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
I know, right? The Fred movies right after that.
There are 3 of those.
let me be clear. You have consented to all
Yes,
of
there are
these.
3 Fred movies. I have.
Let's be clear on that.
I have.
It's not like I'm sitting you down, tying you up, and forcing you.
No. That would be a different story.
Okay.
For a different time.
Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about
On a
that one
different
next time.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, on a different podcast. Okay, and then I put all the Fast and Furious, including Better Luck Tomorrow, because that's Han's origin.
Right, the movie that's not canon but is canon because it is Justin
Yes.
Lin's directorial debut. Yeah.
And then the one I haven't seen is Hobbs and Shaw. Maybe I'll just watch that on my own, because
Nah,
I don't know if
don't.
you want to rewatch that.
No, that's not.
And then that's the basic gist. Oh yeah, and then I also put down the recreation with the Superman heads. Like, we still got to do that.
Oh my god, that's a whole bit that you'd have to explain.
Yeah, I would. It's great though. It's totally it's great because I actually do have the whole monologue memorized. I wonder how much of that movie I could quote.
Probably the whole thing.
Probably the whole thing. There's very few. There's a lot of movies I could probably quote the whole thing, and that's one of them.
The entire series of Friends is one.
No, I could
Pretty
not.
much.
How long is that? Do you know? Like the actual 10 seasons?
Yeah.
How long would it take to somebody to watch all of that in one sitting?
Well, let's see. There's 236 episodes, and the reason I know that is because, because I know that.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, you don't need to explain why you know that.
So you divide that, you multiply that by 22, and there you go.
And then divided by 60-ish.
Yep. Yeah.
86
good job.
hours. I did it. 86 and a half hours.
Wow.
That didn't take as long. I thought that was going to be like a Google thing. Now we did that on our own. We didn't use.
Good job, guys.
See, Jake, what it's like to not have to Google things. You could just you have that in your
I
brain
didn't Google
already.
it. I IMDb'd it. That's different. I don't use Google.
My only search engine is IMDb.
And Letterboxd.
Jake, yeah, you need a shirt with that on it.
My only search engine is IMDb. Can we all sing Can't Fight This Feeling? Furthermore, do
Sure.
we know the lyrics? Because I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I know any more of the lyrics to that song.
I know Take It on the Run. We can sing that one.
Fight this feeling anymore. And then what else is there?
Come crashing through your
something
door.
about- something worth fighting for.
And throw away the
Sure.
old.
Come crashing through your door.
Something.
Like this
Can't fight
feeling,
this
Feeling
anymore.
anymore.
Yay! Good job.
Anymore.
Oh my god, guys, we should do an acapella
Yeah.
group. Yeah.
We can call it the IMB Duas.
Oh, wait. If we're doing an acapella group, we have to do Kip's wedding song.
Oh yeah, the technology song.
Wait, Maddie. So you can do a really good Kip impression. Can you do him singing, like Always and Forever?
Let's see. I still love technology. But I love you and technology. And I don't know the words, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Maddie,
I love Kip.
that was perfect.
Kip
Thank
is
you.
my favorite.
I don't remember
needed
the
that.
words. That's better than I would have done. There you
Always and forever.
Always.
I still love technology.
We met on the internet.
That was perfect. And this is actually a rhyming scene because in the very first episode, I think you did the Freaky Friday song, and now you're doing Kip's song.
Oh boy. Yes, I do.
One of the greatest things my ears had been. Sorry, not to knock you down a peg. It might be the second greatest thing my ears have
That's
been
okay.
blessed with.
To be honest, I've just been staring at the waveform that my voice memo has been making and just being like, oh, there's so much the weird background noise my chair's making.
Oh
and
yeah,
all
I have to sit on an exercise
Don't worry.
ball.
That's,
Yeah, Jake's chair
That's
is the
cool.
noisiest thing.
that.
I'm sorry, okay? It's a broken chair.
It's okay. You're gonna be moving soon.
Maybe next time.
Getting
Maybe next
a new
time
chair.
I'll do that. I'm actually going to get one of those gaming chairs that sits on you just sit
Oh
on
yeah,
the
the
floor.
rolly ones.
I want one of those.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a nice throwback.
I used to surf on those all the time.
Tuan, don't you know me? I'm throwback things.
No, I know. That's like the first. Yeah, obviously. Just Mr. Throwback, Mr. Throwback, Jake Packett.
Actually, it's Jake Atreides. Get it right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm Jake Atreides, the Kwisatz Haderach.
What's the Kwisatz Haderach?
That's Paul Atreides' title.
Oh,
he's the Kwisatz Haderach.
Oh my
That's right.
god! I definitely need to eventually see Dune.
Yes, I'm so excited for Dune.
But then again, I'm just like, the new one's coming out, so I should just wait for that one.
Tuan.
Yeah. Yes.
You have to experience the glorious beauty that is Kyle MacLachlan. Once you experience Kyle MacLachlan, his evolution, Dune, Blue Velvet, Cooper, and then 2017 Cooper, immediately, your life just immediately, exponentially.
Oh, okay. But how long is that? Like,
it's like
do I need to watch
17 hours.
Do I need to watch? I guess I have to watch Twin Peaks before that, though, right?
18 hours.
You don't have to watch Twin Peaks. You enjoy watching Twin Peaks. I will sit you down. You've seen Fire Walk with Me, which is like
see, Jake showed me Fire Walk with Me, so now I just know how. I know.
You said it was okay.
It was, but now this point I said to you, what happens?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the reason I show people Fire Walk with Me is, one, because I have personal connection to it, which I may talk about sometime, and two, because Sheryl Lee's performance is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
Have you guys not done an episode on Fire Walk with Me?
No, it's so deep in the Twin Peaks mythos, like. Although we did an episode on Blue Velvet, and we watched season 3 together, and we kind of talked about it at the end, like season 3. Yes, so we haven't done Fire Walk with Me yet.
All right. So, what else do you want to say about the way back? Yeah, I had one more thing I was going to say. It was just that scene when they're all at the Jones party and Duncan blows up. Or, well, before that, when he's just watching the situation unfold with his parents and everyone's feeling uncomfortable and he can feel it all and he's looking at everyone and trying to sense where they're at. Like, I can't imagine being his age and having to do that with my parents, like having to gauge the situation and try to figure out if I should say anything because my parents are acting like children and he's like more mature than any of them at this point, and so I totally understand why he blows up. Yeah, it was just like such a tense scene. I feel so bad that he had to deal with that, and like, you know, kids have to deal with that still in real life.
Yeah.
That's a scene that I like especially after having rewatched the movie so many times. I like to go and look at other people's performances like in that scene. And just seeing like how literally like every actor in that scene, like you can kind of gauge their sort of reaction to that whole scene and what they're thinking from that character's perspective throughout. Like I like seeing Joan's reaction like right after it ends, and she just like takes a sip of whatever she's drinking or whatever. Like completely, she's like not in that world. She just blew up this like family's life kind of without, you know, maybe not even obviously not really intending to do that, but you know, and watching like Alice and Janney in that scene when she has like no dialogue at all, or Anna Sophia Robb, and Rob Corddry even, where like he is like even more so like mature of a person than Steve Carell's character. Like when Duncan pushes Trent and he's just like about to go just slap this kid or whatever, like go fight this kid, and Rob Corddry's like whoa, and like holds him back. Now I feel that scene on like not just on like the level of like where the like where it is in the movie and like the characters and the main character, but just like as a spectator and seeing everybody else in the scene as a spectator as well. You know?
You really feel like you're in that moment. You're in that backyard with all of them. You're really transported into it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that when like Duncan finds his voice and he blows up like that, and also, you know, the Roddy teaching him to objectify women at the Water Whiz like doesn't turn him into an asshole later in life. I hope that he gets his voice, but he can still choose a different type of voice that he can have rather than his anger and his I'm too cool for you or whatever. Like when he like winks at his sister or whatever, or his stepsister was like what's up, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Just none of Sam Rockwell's baggage, you know? Like take the right lessons from that, not necessarily because like he's definitely not perfect either, you know. He's got his own issues throughout the movie.
One thing I love about this movie is I love Sam Rockwell and Maya Rudolph's, like, their characters and their relationship dynamic.
I don't know if I'm fully behind it. I don't know. It's cute at times, but I don't feel like they would work long term. Because I think she regrets working
that's true.
there, like, in the first place, and doing everything that he doesn't, and having to take care of everything, and I don't see that really changing. I mean, he kind of did change at the end, so, yeah, I guess it was on the up and up, but underneath, I don't think. It didn't give me a really good feeling.
Well, yeah, that is true. I guess what I meant is I like more how scene, like not maybe not even character-wise, but, like, the writing wise how it progresses, because they start off and then he's like, oh, she's totally into me even though she's like tired of his bullshit, but then like later on they have that scene where she like kind of opens up about how she's feeling and how she's been there a long time and how she didn't think she would be, kind of like how Lewis is. And then I guess I just meant the progression of the scenes.
That did have a good progression between them.
Also, like, one thing I really picked up watching this is when right before they're about to leave the place for good, and then Trent, Steve Carell's character, says to Duncan, like, okay, are we done here? Let's go. And then Owen just stands in front of him, like, really protectively. Like, there's no dialogue or anything, but you just understand, like, exactly what's happening in that moment, and it's so beautiful. I love it.
Oh, he immediately steps up for him, dude. Like when he's like, are we ready for this? And he's just like, oh, hey, you must be Trent or whatever. Like, I'm the friend of the three, you know? Like, immediately just steps in front of him and takes care of that situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of people I don't think would do that in that situation when it really comes down to it.
I would love to say that I would, but I've never been on that end of a situation like that before. So
I've been the person who needed protection at one point, and I was lucky to have someone to be that person and stand in the way. So that was, but I mean, there's just like so many emotions in that moment, and that guy Owen could have been like, whoa, dude, like, don't involve me, you know, like, I'm just here, I'm just the pool guy, but he really stood up and took his chance. So I thought that was really good.
Because I've been that too, where like I'm the person that would need protection, but I feel like if it was somebody that really meant a lot to me, I would, you know, do my best to protect them if they needed it.
Yeah, me too. It was filmed in Massachusetts. Kind of weird.
Huh. Yeah, I've never actually like looked in to see where the movie like actually takes place, even like within the context of the movie.
Right.
You know, like I'm like, oh, it's just the beach, or whatever.
Somewhere
like
over
it's
there.
East Coast. Yeah. Some beach town with a bunch of rich people. That's another thing I think I've like picked up on this watch, was like this class element that like I think I was always like aware of, but like it like just really poked out. I don't know, like really just like stuck out this time around watching it. Like even like Duncan and his mom are not necessarily they're like out of their element in this environment with all these rich people on this that all have these beach houses. Like Anna Sophia Robb is like, oh yeah, it's like this is like spring break for adults.
Yeah.
And we totally see that. They were just so irresponsible the whole time.
Yeah. He's like, my mom doesn't smoke pot.
Aw.
Which is why I just love that this movie takes place at like a gross water park, and that's where he like finds his finds himself and his confidence and all that is through leaving all the rich people behind and this lifestyle.
All of the toxic adults.
Yeah, all the toxic adults. Yeah.
The scene right before he's going to leave, like one of the last scenes that Duncan has with Owen, when he says to him, like, this is like the only place that I feel happy. Like, I don't want to go anywhere else. I'm like, man, like I've been in 2 places like that where I feel that, and I'm like, man, I just felt that really strongly.
Yeah. Aw.
Also, Duncan and Anna Sophia Robb. What is her name? What is it? Susanna? Something like that?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Susanna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their relationship
Susanna.
is really cute too.
Yeah, it is. I kind of relate to her being at one point friends with, the popular mean girls or whatever, which I think the stepsister Steph was not a good actress. I didn't like her at all. But relating with Susanna, just wanting to hang out with the weird kids instead of hanging out with the popular kids. Yeah, I would love to go search for ghost crabs instead.
Right. What did you guys think of that opening? Like, it's like in the beginning of the movie when Susanna and Steph are hanging out at the beach, and just all of those girls' dialogue, where it's like, she's like, my dad only sees me like twice a year or so he just wants me to be happy. And one of the girls is like, what does she say? She says, that's the kind of parent I want to be. And the other one's like, I'm going to do drugs with my kids.
What? I totally missed that.
You don't remember that?
I missed
You
that.
totally missed that?
Oh my god.
That's one of my favorite lines in the movie. I think it's so funny.
I'm gonna do drugs with my kids.
Yeah, it's
I'm going to do drugs with my kids. Yeah.
my kids.
Like, those girls are just so awful.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
And when when Steph is like, let's go swimming, and then she's like talking to her
boyfriend's like-
boyfriend, and
Yeah.
his name is literally
like,
Chad.
Chad, we're going swimming.
I'm throwing the ball right
I thought
now.
we talked about this.
Yeah. About this. I thought we talked about this.
Literally the
Susanna,
most
we're all going swimming right
extreme
now.
Chad ever.
His name is literally Chad.
Yes.
They're both so
Yeah, they
extreme.
are.
Steph
Yeah.
and Chad, like the two most extremes, and it's so funny.
Yeah. They're just they're totally not even realistic at that point. Like, what's it called? What's that word? They're like hyper or
Hyper reality.
hyper realistic.
It's just a little heightened, you know. It's weird how the movie has these moments where it's like it feels very like, and it does it in the right spots, right? Where like towards the end, it does like want to be real and kind of have this sort of emotional connection with its audience, but then like it does have the weird, like, it's definitely made in like the early 2010s, like off of like the Apatow era of comedies, where it's like there's like those just like those sort of heightened characteristics a little bit. And the characters in that scene, it definitely feels like a scene like out of a more of like a straightforward comedy, you know. The dialogue feels that way too, I feel like. Like the I will do drugs with my kids line, very something I think I would hear in like a Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Just some small details I notice after having watched this movie hundreds of times. I just like just a lot of performance things with the character dynamics. Like I kind of like how Pam is not dissimilar to Duncan in this movie, even though we were joking earlier, like, oh, all she does is cook and get cheated on or whatever. I just like that scene at the first scene where it's like Kip and Jonah's over and it's them at the having dinner or whatever, and they're all Trent is in with his friends and she's kind of not in that inner element with these two people, and they're all talking, and then she tries to like kind of butt into the conversation, but she like steps over Joan.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, you could, yeah, right. Just the
so
this movie. I think half the reason I like this movie is it's just pain. It's just
awkward pain.
It's like all the worst stuff. But yeah, just that scene where just the awkwardness of that scene where Pam's trying to tell her story, and then it's not amusing at all. Like she's like, oh, it wasn't amusing, and then she like goes this thing, and also like kind of a little nice little setup for like the conflict, I guess, that those characters kind of have for the rest of the movie after that, and even hints of Joan and Trent's relationship that'll come into play later in the movie. But I always like that was like for me always worked as like a nice moment, because I'm like, oh, that's kind of the connection between the parent and the child. I think you see that later too when in the Candyland scene later. When Steve Carell and like you even see like Steph's kind of like her dad when he's like being a dick about explaining the rules and having to follow the rules, and then she like pulls the card and like plays the Candyland piece. And Steph is like, it's 2 purple squares or whatever, and she just turns back. It's like, sorry. Like you see that, like even just like a small moment like that. Yeah, she just glares at her. It's like not dissimilar to your dad. Just goes up and like, now I could take what are they, like the little path to gumdrop pass.
Yeah, right. Oh, I've been there with games because I'm not competitive. I'm just like, it's just a game. Like, who cares, you know? And so I've been there where people have been like,
right,
yeah, game, and I'm like, I don't.
There's definitely
whatever.
that's definitely where I you feel like you run into the Trents the most is
Yes.
during the small stuff, you know, not necessarily like the big.
Yeah, you're right.
Not necessarily the big stuff where you're like, oh, like having to be in a relationship with one. Thank God.
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
but just like, yeah, playing a game where he's that one guy who's just being that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like that scene a lot too, because it's just like it's such a small thing for them to be doing, but like for the grand scheme of the movie, it means a lot. I think for those characters, like it's kind of nice to see the personalities kind of just clash in that scene.
Well, they had only been dating like a year. That's what they said on the boat, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they've been dating for a year.
That's like
yeah.
not that long, and you totally don't. Like, I don't think she should feel obligated to have to marry him or something at that point. Because, like,
No.
I don't know.
It's like maybe just like existing with this person and living with this person is a different thing.
Yeah.
It seems like, you know, like having to take this trip is a big step.
Yeah.
To actually like try to have this family, which like, you know, by the end it's like, oh, this isn't a family at all. Like,
right.
like none of these people are compatible whatsoever.
They all clash in different ways with each other. Nobody works.
No. Trent thinks the way to be a dad is to kind of be tough on Duncan, and it's weird because like even though he's like a jerk the whole time, you kind of think maybe that like in his brain that makes sense, you know?
Totally.
That maybe his dad was that way, and that's why, you know, that's why he is the way he is. Just like little peaks of like after watching it so many times, I like to think about what the world is outside of the movie a lot, because it's, you know, it's really contained. Everybody just feels real. Like they had a life outside of this movie. They'll continue to have a life after this movie.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, like how they do have a life before the movie, and then there's life after. There's life outside, not outside the frame, but outside the story,
outside
like
of the summer.
It feels, it feels very lived in. It feels like the characters have lives. It's not just like, oh, their lives are just because the movie's written. You know, they have lives before and after, even though it's very conclusive.
Right. Yeah, I hope this sounds okay later.
Well,
I am looking at the waveforms. I'm just like, they're pretty tall.
Mine are tall too. Mine are always tall.
Okay. Okay.
Well, if you don't get invited back, then you know why.
Yeah, it's because my waveforms were too tall. Damn, my voice was too loud.
Nah, you're good.
I'll just do some normalization and some compression, and it will be fine.
It's all distorted. I'm trash.
It's the.
It's my fault personally.
It's all good. It's all good.
Fine.
Okay, so do you want to talk about anything you watched this week?
I didn't watch anything.
Bruh.
I was going to, and then I ended up working last night instead. So I watched The Way Back between shifts.
You didn't watch anything with Wilton?
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't. Well, actually, no, we did watch Goblet of Fire, but that's a rewatch, so I wouldn't usually talk about it.
Okay. Tuan, did you watch anything else?
Let's see. I've been doing, because I've been watching WandaVision, and
Yes.
just because of that, I was like, I really want to go back and watch all these movies and be a garbage person and just watch every single MCU movie in order. So I've been doing that for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just say, I've been loving your Letterboxd reviews. I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah, you told me that.
I'm not bullshitting you or being hyperbolic. I actually anticipate when your next one comes out. the last one I read was like Age of Ultron, I think,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, man, I just cannot wait for Guardians 2 and Civil War and Endgame and.
I've been slacking. I was burning through those for a bit, and then got busy. So I've been doing like one a week for now. It's gonna take me a bit. Yeah, I've been watching them all in order, and just to feel like a little less of a garbage person too, I've been doing a Martin Scorsese movie that I haven't seen in between every little session or whatever I do. So I like did
phase.
like
There you go.
So I did like
Every phase, you could say.
basically kind of. I did like
I just remembered I explained to Maddie what the phases are because she didn't know what there was phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and I just thought that
Yeah.
was so funny.
I did not know anything about that.
I also
Wow.
explained to her what a decom is.
that's funny.
Yeah,
I'm sad that you didn't
love
know
that term
Yeah,
now.
that's it's like
I
internal.
definitely use it in everyday language now.
or de plus or whatever like.
Or de plus.
Or de plus. I always say de plus now. Oh, so last week I forgot to mention in the movie I watched, in the movie The Island, there were like 4 people in it that were like used to be on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel in like adult side roles. So like there was that woman from Drake and Josh who runs the movie theater or whatever.
Oh, Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yes.
Okay. And then
She's
there was
in
the
Community,
principal.
She's also on
principal
Victorious.
from Phil of the Future.
Yeah.
Arwen from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the
Yes,
Michael Bay
and then-
movie, right? The
Yeah. Uh-huh.
okay.
And then there was like one more I can't remember, but I was just like, wow, how did all these people get together?
I think
But
that's
anyway.
like every Michael Bay movie. I think it's like every Michael Bay movie. I'm just like, how did all these people in
How
one
did all
movie?
these people?
Like, how does
How
he get
did-
like these esteemed actors that are all like in like Coen Brothers movies and stuff?
Yeah.
True.
Like Turturro is in every single one of those Transformers movies. Like, he's the only actor in all of them. Like,
I was just gonna say, is he the only actor in all of them?
yeah, because yeah. Even when LaBouffe goes,
Because Shia left. Because Shia left. Mark Wahlberg, is he still there?
More like Shia was kicked out, I think.
Yeah. Poor Shia.
But, I
Hollywood dumped
did-
Shia LaBeouf, and there's
Yeah.
no secret why.
No. I mean, it's funny how he
Yeah.
was like kind of
Nice
having a
clickbait
comeback.
title.
He was kind of having a comeback, and now it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, now he's on the off and outs again. Whoops.
I don't know. So did you see the Peanut Butter Falcon movie?
I did not. I wanted to, but
Same.
never got around
I didn't
to
either.
it. Yeah. I saw Honey
He's
Boy
in that,
though.
right? Yeah. I did see Honey Boy.
Yeah, that's
too.
his story. Yeah, that's like his life
That was
story.
pretty dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting to like that more, and I didn't. It was like
Yeah.
a solid, like, little 3.5 out of 5, maybe. I don't know. Like, it was like, ugh. And now it's
Yeah.
weird. Now it's weird with the stuff that happened on, like, Don't Worry, Darling, the next Olivia Wilde movie, where you just, like, literally, Olivia Wilde just fired him. And replaced him
really?
with Harry Styles. So,
Really?
an upgrade. Yeah. And literally, it was like, she said, like, oh, I have a no asshole rule. When it comes to working
Nice.
with so she fired Shia LaBeouf, and now there's like this other stuff that's happening, whatever. But in between, so for the first time I've watched Goodfellas after the Avengers, which that was like Whiplash. And then I think right before Ultron I just did Shutter Island. I'm doing just what's
okay.
readily available on Netflix at this point.
Yeah.
And also, I was like, Shutter Island's a little shorter. Because
Yeah.
a lot of his movies are long.
Yes.
Or they feel long.
That's good. Yeah.
Hot take.
Or they feel long, yeah. So far, like, I like them. But yeah, like, I feel like a garbage person saying, like, oh, like, I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy, rewatching that for the first time in forever. More so than I did, like, watching Shutter Island. Which, I mean, yeah. So, the film is subjective, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe mob movies just aren't my thing. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like Goodfellas is a great movie, but like I don't know. Like I didn't like Mean Streets either. I had to watch that for film school. I had to watch Mean Streets, and I was just like, I didn't like it. And Goodfellas, while I can acknowledge the craft is very good, I don't know. I don't think it's just my aesthetic. Those
I get it.
kinds of movies. Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Like they're good, but it's just like can't really get behind it all the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can acknowledge it's good, but like maybe just not, personal taste, whatever. I much prefer the movie with a raccoon that made me cry more so than the one with Ray Liotta.
Right.
really
right.
though, that raccoon can act.
Yeah, that raccoon can act, man. I don't know how they do that. They got such a performance out of that raccoon. It's amazing.
They probably had Liz on set as an animal trainer.
Yeah. There you go. Callbacks. Yeah, I just got to Ultron though, so I'm like basically
nice. That's good.
Full through. But yeah, now after watching the first Guardians, I was just like, ugh, now I have to watch like 4 other movies before I get to the second one because I'm just like I actually. Weirdly, like watching these, it's so weird because I'm just like, like for the first, like a lot of them are kind of like okay, like they're not that good at movies. I'm like, I like the actors and I like the characters, but like there's a lot of stuff like holding it back. Like I'm like, I don't think the scripts are that good, which is funny because I think the filmmaking's okay, and then I'm like, but then by the end, the writing's gonna get good, but then the filmmaking's gonna fall off by the time we get to like the end game or whatever. Exactly. You're gonna be like, like this is so well written, what a great cathartic experience, but like the first Avengers is a much better directed movie than the end of Endgame,
which is unfortunate because of Joss Whedon now.
Yeah, it's like they just started pumping these out, but at least the character work is good. I don't know. Anyways, WandaVision's good. I did this all because of WandaVision. And I was just like, you know what, this is really good. And then I decided to do the movies from the beginning. And so far it's been kind of nice, especially since getting to Guardians. You're like, like these movies, they already stood out to me as the best ones. But like now they're definitely just the best ones because they're like the ones with the most personality and like a distinct voice. Like it doesn't feel like a brand.
Yeah.
It feels like a person wrote it and made it and feels personal.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. In between working pretty much full time and doing some editing stuff here and there, just like Marvel apparently. So I gotta respect both houses though. I gotta do Martin Scorsese in between to
yeah,
level
you gotta
it
do
out.
A little cleanse. Yeah,
do a little cleanse.
Yeah,
we respect both of these people in this house. You know, there's no dissing one or the other, even though I just kind of dissed Scorsese.
That's okay.
We respect both. Okay. We respect both. Yeah.
Can we just get a shout out for how great Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are in WandaVision?
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so good. Wait, have you? So I know Jake, you've been watching it. Have you been watching it, Madison? Or
no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So Maddie and her boyfriend, they're watching. I don't know if you still are, but they started watching the MCU in chronological order.
So
which I found
is that just the Disney Plus
really
playlist or?
Oh, do they have a whole playlist of that?
Yeah, they have it like set up. Man, that streaming service is just set up for people to binge those movies. Like,
oh,
yeah, they have like
we're watching it like chronologically within the universe.
Right. So like Cap first, and then Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah,
which might be the better way to watch it.
About it. I don't know. Yeah, it's been interesting. Yeah, we're not good at binging things, especially movies, because he always falls asleep, and so it's gonna take us probably like 4 years. But his
it's taken me a month to do this, and I like these movies, so.
Yeah, because he hasn't seen a lot of. I don't think he's seen anything after like the first Avengers. So
I want to do after this. I want to do my curated. Like I'm just gonna delete a bunch of movies and be like, this is what you should watch.
Oh, good idea.
Because an abridged one, because like a lot of those first ones aren't that good. Like even the first Iron Man is like kind of good for most of it, and then like it kind of gets boring halfway through. And,
Thor, not good.
Oh my god, Thor is so bad. It is so bad.
And I loved that movie when it came out.
Me too. I
never liked it.
The first Thor.
You never liked it.
Sorry.
I think I saw it I think I had it on like DVD or something. I was like, I like this, but then rewatching it, I think I rewatched it after Infinity War, and I was like, oh my god, this movie is awful.
Yeah,
it is so bad. People make fun of the second one so much and say the second one's a bad movie, and then I was just like, guys, the first one's like way worse. Like Kenneth Branagh, and this last marathon I did was even worse because I was like, oh my god, I just noticed like Kenneth Branagh's like weird directing choices throughout. I'm like, why is there tilt Dutch angles the whole time?
Oh my god, exactly. The entire movie is just Dutch angles.
Yeah, like do it. Have a point.
Extreme. Yeah, there's no point.
Make a decision, but have it make sense. Like I don't get the Dutch angles all over the movie.
Yeah. Oh my god.
In dialogue scenes and stuff. Like why?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's just dull.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
just so boring.
don't care.
And Chris Hemsworth has bleached eyebrows, so like he's not even.
Yes.
Like, you can't even enjoy
An
Chris
eyeliner.
Hemsworth. Yeah, you can't even enjoy Chris Hemsworth. Like even if you're like, oh, like he's an
No.
Adonis of a man, but now his face looks weird.
Yeah.
Adonis of a man.
Yeah,
That's put that in your
let's be
Ragnarok
real. Like
review.
that's what most people are going to Thor for. For Chris
Honestly,
Hemsworth.
no.
Yeah.
Like Natalie Portman's the surrogate character for the audience. So
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully, Taika can have another home run.
oh yeah, for sure. No, I'm assuming the next one's going to be way better, just because he gets to write the script this time.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't write the last movie. Like he basically did, because on set they just like threw out the script and did whatever. But he's not credited on Ragnarok. So it's like, oh, he wrote this one. It's a safe bet that it's going to be pretty good. I don't know. I'm excited for it. The Guardians are in it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be
I'm just
fun.
like, oh, that's what I like. This is that'll be fun. As cool as it is that like, oh, it's kind of like your favorite show, and there's a lot of interconnected elements throughout the movies. It does get kind of annoying having them all kind of feed into each other, and you can't really watch movies isolated on their own. And so like the first two Guardians are kind of fun in that way, where it's like even though there's a bunch of Infinity War setup in the first movie, like if you're just watching the first Guardians, you're not really thinking about who Thanos is and all that. And
Right.
so
Right. Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is
agree with
fun.
that.
This is fun. And then the
Yeah,
second
for
one's
sure.
really good. And then like now I'm just like, oh, but now the third one's gonna have like this whole thing where like, and the movies suffer for it because like the last Spider-Man movie I feel like really suffered for that, where it's like, oh, the first half of the movie just had to deal with the fact that Endgame happened and they had to like recontextualize Spidey in that world. Like how do they
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
yeah, and it's like if you're not watching all of them and you're just watching the Spider-Man movies, you have this whole weird thing that you don't have the context for at all. And the movie is literally just doing homework to catch you up for it at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Homework.
Literally, it's like literally the opening scene of Far From Home is them just doing their homework, like catching you up and being like, this is what happened in the last movie, and it's like it's kind of annoying because it's like, yeah, you know, you'd like to watch, especially those
Like a new movie.
yeah, just watch it without having to see, you know, for casual fans, it's like I don't even imagine what the daunting task would be to like try to get into these movies at this point.
Exactly.
There's so many of them.
Which is like how like because one thing we've talked about is like like with Phase 4, I think you and I are both much more casual, or maybe your opinion has changed, but I feel like even before WandaVision, we're like, okay, we're just gonna kind of pick and choose whatever it is we want to see. But then it's even now like, how do you do that? Because like, what if we go see Doctor Strange 2 and then they reference something that's in like Eternals, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
and then like,
yeah.
I'm
like
sure
that's
they will.
that's just the problem.
That's how it be. They just want, well, they do that so that, and it's all like a part of like the cycle. Like they want people to go Google this stuff and learn about it and then go see the next movie, you know.
Well, screw you. I'm not going to do that.
That's how it be. That's how it be. The wiki sites that get a lot of traction after a trailer comes out. It's like, who's this? And like, if there's like a character mention or something. Like I'm sure like after the first Avengers came out, it's like Thanos at the end. People are just like Googling Thanos. Like all of a sudden, like nobody knew who this guy was, and all of a sudden like now
I
he's
had
like a
one
famous movie
friend
character.
who read the comics and like freaked out when he saw that, and I was like, "What is happening?" And all of us were like, "What?" And of course, now we all know who Thanos is.
Yeah, and now everybody knows who Thanos is, whether that's a
Yes,
good thing or
that's
not. I mean, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I remember my reaction because I saw the first Avengers in the theater and walking out of it being like, okay, I gotta Google who Thanos is.
Yeah.
And what I ended up Googling instead was I went to Wikipedia and went to the plot synopsis, and I was pissed because there was a second credit scene and I didn't stay for it.
Oh, the shawarma scene.
Aw.
You missed the shawarma scene?
Yes, I did. And I was like, damn.
That's fun.
Because that was the first movie that had 2 post-credit scenes, and now that's like expected. I'm like,
My favorite one of those post credits is probably in Homecoming when Cap comes in at the very end and makes fun of the audience for staying for something that wasn't going to be satisfying at the end. Where he was just like, Cap's just like, you wonder why you waited so long for something that would be so disappointing. That's it. That's the only end credit. That's all it is at the end.
I also love the one in Guardians 2 with Stan Lee.
Oh, well, Guardians
the
2
Watcher
has
or
like
whatever it's
5 of
called.
them. It's just like the credits
It
are like a
does.
celebration of that movie. Like it ends with a crying raccoon, and then it's just like, let's celebrate, and it's like a bunch of just fun scenes. Or they tease us for future movies. Maybe some of them are just fun. I don't know.
Oh yeah, if you want to talk about like like getting emotional about a raccoon. Guardians 2 has.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one that's super emotional about the raccoon. The raccoon makes me cry in both movies, but very
Guardians
much so.
2, man.
That the final shot of that movie is the raccoon crying. The second one.
Yeah. So did you watch? So you've been watching the MCU and Martin Scorsese. Was there anything else that you have seen?
No. That's all. That's why I'm like garbage person, because like that's all I've been doing.
Well, I haven't watched anything.
And doing WandaVision at the same time. So it was weird because like I did this for WandaVision. I literally just got to Ultron where she shows up. So it's just like maybe I should have just gone back and rewatched Ultron like they told me at the end of every episode.
Are you gonna rewatch WandaVision once you watch Far From Home?
Maybe.
Once you get to the end of that?
Maybe. I kind of just want to rewatch it in general just because I want to see it, how it plays as a whole. Because I've been watching it week to week, and I have no idea how it works. Just like as like a full complete thing,
bingeable. Yeah. But I guess by that point, then you'd have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier if you're gonna watch that. You'd have to watch that because that'll be out by that point.
This is why, like, it's like Disney has got me right where they want me, because I was like, I'm not that excited for these. Like, I don't care about the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but then they train you to expect something every week, and so now I'm just like, well, why would I not? Watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier at this point.
You gotta stay strong.
It's so convenient. It's right there. It's shorter than WandaVision.
It's 6 episodes.
It's only 6 episodes. And I'm just like, maybe now I'll end up watching it because I'm just conditioned into like, all right, tune into Disney Plus on Friday and see what's up. And so that I don't go on Twitter and just see spoilers for it. It's like I just got to be caught up. I think that's also why I did Mandalorian season 2 also, because I was just like, like the people are talking about it. Maybe I should be involved in the conversation, even though I don't. Like, I literally only retweet things. I don't post anything on Twitter, just to see my feed. I don't know. It's bad. It's unhealthy, and I know this. But I'm still here. Still paying my $7 a month to the mouse, man.
Well, it's going to be 8 soon. It's going to be 8 soon.
Okay, there you go.
To the mouse.
To the mouse.
I remember when that movie came out on Blu-ray. I remember I texted you Tuan and said because I was still in my denial stage. I said to Tuan, maybe if it's on sale I'll get it, and you were like, no, don't give money to the mouse. And I still have held out and not given my money to the mouse for that stupid movie, and I never will. And if I ever do, then you both can, I don't know, please don't stop being my friends, but like you can do something else that's a punishment.
Well, Jake, it's still on Plus, so and it'll probably remain on Plus.
And I've watched it on Plus.
You have?
Because I've seen that movie 3 times, twice in the theater and once on Plus.
Oh. Okay.
And I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Yeah, that's funny that you hate it. You've had this thing, and you've seen the movie more than probably both of us, I'm assuming.
I don't think Maddie's seen it at all.
That's what I'm saying. You haven't. I've seen it once, and I was like, "Well,
what
that's
movie
enough."
are you talking about?
the movie that must not be named. Came out December.
Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Nope, I still haven't seen it.
It's okay. It's okay. Have you seen any of the? Are you like a fan of Star Wars at all, Maddie, or no? Like
I am. I saw the only one I haven't seen. The only movie I haven't seen is the newest one.
See, that's good. I like that. I wish I had done that.
We saw Solo together, and the only reason she saw Last Jedi was at my insistence of how much I loved it.
Oh, I love that movie.
I would say. I love
that
that
was a
movie,
good one.
but I don't want to watch it because.
Oh, dude, no,
just
go
watching,
back. It's
watching
still
any
good.
of those just hurt.
It's still good.
It hurts. I can't do it.
That's what I did. I just was like, oh, that movie sucked. I'm gonna go rewatch The Last Jedi, and I did. It was great.
That movie. I mean, I already loved Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley before, because in Force Awakens and obviously, but like Last Jedi made me love both of them, and now I'm like, I will follow both of you, like career wise, and like if you ever had anything else together, I will eat it up because the two of them together is just so perfect.
I'm hoping for.
I don't fucking care. I'm gonna call it perfect.
I'm hoping for one or both of them to be in the second Knives Out movie.
Yes. If they're both in Knives Out 2, I will literally. That will be one of the.
There's gonna be a
happiest
Knives
days
Out 2
ever.
Knives Out 2, whatever they call it. I have no idea what.
Forks in,
good old
spoons
Ryan,
in.
Forks in. just hopefully not Knives Out 2, because like what a
Yeah, just
I
don't
almost
call it
fell
that.
off my exercise
Because it's an
ball.
anthology.
Forks in.
Spoons in.
I just imagine that poster, and then it's just all the names, but it's literally just the Star Wars cast.
But yeah. So
Adam
it's
Driver,
Daniel
Oscar
Craig,
Isaac,
Adam Driver,
John
Boyega, Daisy Ridley. If that happens,
Kelly Marie
Yes,
Tran.
Kelly Marie. Please,
Well
can
done.
Kelly Marie Tran be in one of the? Yes, can they all be in a Knives Out sequel?
Frank Oz
Kelly Marie
again.
Yes, Frank Oz. I would literally jump up and down with excitement if that was that. Okay, if that was the cast for a Knives Out 2 or even Knives Out 3,
That'd be
that would
so
completely
funny.
that'd probably eradicate my whole Rise of Skywalker emotions.
He literally just
because
makes
I'd be
Rise
like,
of Skywalker again, but it's Knives Out too.
but it's Knives Out. I wouldn't care.
And all the characters are like
it'd be
kind of
canon.
the characters, but it's all like
Yes.
within and not like they're just normal people in the normal world, and the murder happened.
Yo, I got an idea. So it's like by Knives Out 3 or 4, it's Benoit Blanc who's the murderer, because wouldn't that be a great twist?
Sure.
But then he can still be in all the movies. Like we'll give him like a justifiable reason, but
Yeah.
like imagine that, because like he's the detective in the first like 2 or 3, and in one of them he's the murderer.
You should definitely pitch that to Ryan. You know, just give him.
If I ever
send him a tweet.
if I ever meet Ryan Johnson, I wouldn't pitch anything to him. I'd get down on my knees and say thank you for making the best Star Wars movie of the last, like, I don't know, 40 years.
Maybe the best Star Wars movie, literally. Like,
Maybe the best ever. Like, let's be real. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna reel it back in here.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is what happens.
Bring us back. Bring us back.
Maddie, you might need to come live with us and just reel us in all the time.
Oh gosh. So this week I watched.
It's getting weird. Sorry.
I watched
Literally,
Annabelle
we're just reeling
Comes
it in.
Home. Have you seen Annabelle Comes Home?
No. I've only seen
I've
the.
seen.
I've only seen the second one. The what's it called? Creation.
Annabelle Creation, yeah.
I've seen Spider-Man Homecoming.
Not the
Sorry.
same.
I'll let myself out now.
Boo.
Get out.
Oh, I've seen Get Out. That's a great movie too.
That's still
I've seen
That's
Us.
a good one.
Too, and I'm sorry, I will watch Us.
You still haven't seen.
Oh yeah,
Us.
you gotta watch.
No, I haven't
Damn,
had the
it's-
I
time.
should have forced you to watch it for this. That wasn't smart.
I said that to you,
Yeah.
didn't I?
Maybe you
Or did I say that to
don't know.
Madison?
I don't know.
I said that to Madison. Was like, we should watch Us and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
Maddie. Annabelle Comes Home.
So
Where does
I told
Annabelle
you,
live?
Annabelle. Well, she lived on a farm. She was like a little girl, and then the demon and blah blah blah. There's like a whole huge
Yeah.
backstory.
The movie Annabelle Creation.
And then there's The Nun.
And there's
and
the
then
Nun,
Conjuring. 1, 2.
Conjuring.
Well, you could watch The
Conjuring 1, 2.
Conjuring, and that's like, oh, Annabelle shows up in that. Yeah. That's like
Right.
a spinoff. It's a
They-
weird cinematic universe.
I love it. Yeah.
Honestly, it's a pretty good cinematic universe. Let's be real.
Yeah.
The only successful one other than Marvel. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Dark Universe is the best universe.
Yeah. One movie.
Changed my mind.
One movie, and that's yeah.
1.5 movies.
1.5 movies.
Dracula Untold, Abraham
Yeah.
Lincoln, Vampire.
The first movie,
that's
Psych. Mummy's the first movie, Psych.
Invisible Man's the first one, maybe.
No.
I don't know.
That one's good though. So you've seen all the Annabelles at this point, or?
I have, yes. This one was not very good. It wasn't a good story, really. It was just kind of
That's
like
what I hear.
tropey and cliche and so slow. All of the girls in it, they were just like moving so slowly, walking as slow as possible through the house. And then we would get like a big scare or whatever. I was like, just get on with it. Like I could go in the kitchen and like make myself a snack and come back and they're still in the same hallway walking down. And my God. But then after I turned it off, I was like scared. And that hadn't happened to me in a long time after watching a horror movie. Usually I could just go right to bed and I'm fine. But after that, I was like, oh my God, I can't look into the mirror. But
maybe it was a little spoopy, you know, like
it was a little spoopy, yeah. So I don't know. It was okay. And then I also watched Save Yourselves on Hulu. It was good. It was really cute. It's like this relationship movie, but also aliens, and it was really fun and entertaining. Really realistic relationship stuff. So it was fun to watch. And the aliens were weird. They're like little poofy things, and they call them poofs the whole time. But then they're murderous. They're like so cute, but they look like those little puffs on Club Penguin. Have you played that? Did you play that?
no.
No.
That's a
Oh
little
shit!
before us, I think. Honestly,
Yeah, it might be.
just a little. Bit.
Yeah, they're like the
No, I
little
remember
puff
Fun
things
Brain.
that are their pets on there. They're exactly like the puffs in the poofs in this movie. But yeah.
Sorry, is this like a new movie? Like, did it just come out on Hulu, or is it?
Yeah, it's newer on Hulu.
Yeah, I've been really bad about new releases. I still haven't seen Palm Springs, which is on Hulu.
Oh, that
Still
one's
need
good.
to do that. I've been bad about like last year. I did like just watching a bunch of stuff I hadn't seen, but none of it was like new, other than like Soul, or Mank.
Soul.
I watched Mank and wasted my time. That was sad.
I hadn't seen that.
But then you saw Soul and you felt better.
Yeah, I did. Now Soul was worth it.
Soul
Good.
Soul is like
Life changing.
it
is.
is.
It's so
no
good.
joke. Like it came out at just the right time where like this is the movie I needed right now.
Dude, the whole world needed
Like,
that movie. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad that kids can watch that movie now and kind of have a different idea of the world and everything, and that can influence their thoughts, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. It's really one of those movies where you can watch it at any age and get something new out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it plays differently for each person. Yeah, it plays for everybody, but in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those rare movies where everyone can take something different out of it because it has so many messages, but it's not like contrived or half-assed. It's like all the messages are, they're there, and you can just point at it and be like, oh, I related to this, and someone can go, I related to this. And like, you can be 7 years old, you can be 17, you can be 25, you can be 65, and you can still, it's just one of those like man, like Pete Docter, can you just stay around on Earth for a while, please, and just make great movies every few years?
I feel like that's the only like actual like filmmaker person or whatever like I would like fangirl to meet in person, which is weird. Is this generic white guy in his 50s who's like the most boring person ever. Like if you've ever seen Pete Docter, he's like so uninteresting. like James Gunn and Rian Johnson are like these directors that have
David
a platform and like outside of their movies as like a personality. That's like the age we live in now, where like with social media. But then like Pete Docter's just a dad. He's just a normal dude. And you're like, this guy makes like some profound movies, and he's like super boring. But if I saw him in person, I'd be like, oh my god! And he'd just be like so weirded out, probably.
He'd be like, oh, hey, dude.
Hey, what's up, man? Hi.
Tuan, I got one more for you. What if you met Dan and Swampy? Would you
that would be
fangirl a little bit?
That would be. I would probably literally die. Literally die without the sense. So two people, both just dads, I want you to be. I just want you to be also my dads, along with my dad, because I still have a good relationship with my dad. But I want you also as my dads. Just 3 dads, 4 dads. Swampy, Dan, Pete Docter, cartoons.
I want Kyle MacLachlan as my dad. Wouldn't that be great?
So Tuan, do you want us to link your Instagram or Letterboxd or anything, any socials?
Any of those, sure. My Instagram is just I post stories that are screenshots of tweets. And
your Twitter is
retweets. Yeah, it's literally just tweets I see on my feed that I agree with. Whether it's about our political landscape or just the Hollywood industry at this point, or it's about stuff I've listened to on the radio. So like on my thing, I'll be like, listen to Dua Lipa coming into to work today, brightened up my day. And then the next day it was just like, Dua Lipa didn't play on the radio today at all. Total crap shoot of a day. Couldn't get me through my 9 to 5 at all. Levitating didn't play on the radio, and I'm sad. That's all my Instagram is at this point. And
what
my
is your
Letterboxd
Instagram handle?
Reviews. The number 2. It's my name spelled phonetically, so it's the number 2 WINLEEJR. So Tuan Lee Jr.
There we go.
It's beautiful.
There you go.
Thing I've ever heard.
There you go. And then my Letterboxd. What is my Letterboxd? It's just my name? I don't know. Oh, it's the same. Just without the junior at the end. Tuan Lee.
I got you. Hang on.
Yeah.
So, our prescription for next week. We're going to do the long ride home or whatever it's called. The longest.
It's called
highway.
Lost Highway.
The Lost Highway.
Oh, is this the
The
Disney
long
one?
ride.
Is this the Disney movie he did? Oh, cool.
No, that's the straight story.
Ah, never mind.
The straight story. Oh, never mind.
Never mind. I was excited for next week, and now I'm not.
Now I'm not excited. Hey,
Never
the list is
mind.
done. I can talk
Unsubscribe.
again. You know what we should do? We should do Return to Oz sometime because that's a great.
Oh my
sequel.
god.
It's so good. There's
I'm scared
literally,
of that movie.
It's horrifying. It's scarier than half the horror movies I've seen, and it's beautiful. Walter Murch directed it, so it's his only directorial
really?
feature. Yes.
Yeah, I've always found that interesting, right? Yeah, he's only
So
directed these 2
weird.
movies. Yeah, why?
Yeah. The cinematography though in that movie is incredible. Like, also Catherine from Twin Peaks, who's also Carrie's mom, is in it as psycho bitch Aunt M. So
Oh.
Is that her actual credit? Like when you see the credits on IMDb or like
Yes.
at the end of the movie, it's like psycho bitch Aunt whatever. Aunt Karen.
yes, Aunt M, Uncle Henry.
Aunt M.
Yeah, so go home and watch the Lost Highway, just Lost Highway, right?
Yes, Lost Highway.
Lost Highway.
With,
It's another David Lynch. We're gonna have some fun.
Starring Bill Pullman and Patricia Arquette.
Sweet.
Oh god,
I'm excited.
There's a scene in this movie, no pun intended. It's absolutely magical. It's like that scene in Mulholland Drive between, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil it for Tuan, but there's scenes in Mulholland Drive that I think are just like perfect cinema, and there's a scene in Lost Highway where I wouldn't call it perfect cinema, but it's very good.
Okay, great. I'm excited to watch it. And Tuan, thank you so much for being our guest this week. This was so fun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Follow
it was
Tuan
fun.
on Letterboxd and Instagram and Twitter, where he reposts.
Follow me on Instagram where I talk about nothing but Dua Lipa, and that's about it.
I love it. I love it. So yes, everyone, go home and watch some movies. It's gonna be a great week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.